if we want to look for people who practice the kind of openness in the larger body of Christ, there are a few that come to mind. One is not necessarily a person. Well, I guess it is a person. It would be the Psalms. All the Psalms are us speaking openly about our joys, our fears, our doubts, the things that are crushing to us. The Psalms are given by God that give us words to even speak. I feel like the Lord has abandoned me. Where is He? Help. So the radical openness of the Psalms is essentially the Lord saying, here's what we talk about. In the house of God, here are the things we can speak of. So the Psalms are teaching us how to have open conversations with the Lord and with the larger body of Christ. The other person I think of, other than Jesus, who in John 15, he calls us friends, and friends are the ones who hear the things that are really on the heart of the other person. Along with Jesus, the person who is most obviously open in the New Testament would be the Apostle Paul. Now, his opportunity for openness is going to be different than most of us. His opportunity was people who were questioning his credentials, his reputation. He wasn't speaking like others. He wasn't the kind of rabbi that they wanted to follow. He wasn't the teacher. They wanted someone who they could take pride in, and Paul didn't seem like he was one of those people. And in the book of 2 Corinthians in particular, he speaks in ways that have so many overtones of the Old and New Testament, where he speaks of his great love for these people who were not loving him in return. Talk about openness. Talk about being vulnerable to when you're not being loved. Instead of saying, well, if that's the way you're going to be, I'll just go to somebody else who can love me. Instead of that, you're not loving me, but I want you to know how much I love you. And I want to invite you to open your heart to me as well. And then he goes on and he speaks of the various miseries of his life, the weaknesses of his life. And he speaks of them very openly. And he does it in part to say, in the body of Christ, we experience weakness. And weakness is indeed what we offer to each other. It's the way God's power is going to be evident. And it even serves to unify the body of Christ.